Let's look at the people who deregulated the industry. They're the same people that are in Obama's White House. Larry Summers is chief economic advisor. Gary Gensler, the head of the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. I mean, it's the same people that deregulated that are now being asked to re-regulate. I mean, only somebody that's completely out of their minds would believe this.
When someone, a foreigner say, loans money to the American government, what are they getting in return? Well, they are getting promises of interest payments and eventual repayment of the principal. Where does your government get this money? The government is not a business. It does not generate profits in the free market. So where does it get the money to repay its creditors? Are you beginning to understand that it is not dollars that are being sold? It's not pieces of paper or contracts or computer bits that are being sold. There is only one thing that the government has to sell. Governments have only one asset that they can use as collateral. Your leaders are selling you.
The German philosopher Johann von Goethe once said, "There are none more hopelessly enslaved than those who falsely believe that they are free."
The central banks of the G20 openly said this will be a world government run by private Anglo-American, U.S., British, and EU bankers, and that they wanted the global carbon tax to fund them. Now they've also proposed, and that was originally in the treaty, that they would have a global financial VAT tax on all financial transfers, on all financial institutions. This allows this banking cartel to create a world government to these mega banks that are the source of the world government. It is a private corporate global empire based in Europe, England, and the United States that has enslaved our nations and is now moving on to attempt to take over the rest of the planet.
If you look at the people that did the reviewing of the IPCC report, many of them are not scientists at all. They are employees of various environmental organizations, such as the Environmental Defense Fund, the World Wildlife Fund, and of course Greenpeace. They can hardly be considered, quote, independent scientific reviewers. The global temperature stopped rising in 1998 and have been in decline since.
We don't know why these climate phenomena are happening. We don't even check whether they've happened before. So we'll just say, we'll invent a scare, and we'll say that it's humankind that is causing these changes to happen. And if I explain it that way, you can see how absurd that entire line of argument is. The climate has always changed, the climate is changing, the climate will continue to change. Humankind does not have the power to do very much about it, and we would be arrogant to assume that we can. The precautions themselves, let us say, in the shape of replacing 1/3 of the world's agricultural land, which grew food, with growing biofuels instead. So we were once growing food for people that needed it. Now we grow biofuels for clunkers that don't. Result, a doubling of world food prices in just over a year. If we have to pay twice as much for our food, it's inconvenient. If you're in a poor country, that difference of 100% in the price of your food is the difference between life and death. Noting the political and financial connections between these scientists and politicians. And so it's very clear that what has happened is yet another attempt by the governing class of the world, if you like, to take advantage of the little guy, to conspire against the government, to have another excuse for exaggerated levels of taxation and of regulation and of interference.
Well, it is our responsibility now to resist tyranny civilly while we still can. There may come a time when we will say to the powers that be it with your blood or ours, we have come to water the tree of liberty. To all of you, loyal soldiers in this new revolutionary army. It is an honor to count myself among your ranks. You want a revolution? You better be ready to fight for it.
What is needed to effect positive change is the removal of fear. And the way to address it, folks, is to connect with each other, to live in love, to live in harmony, to help those around you. That's the key to the whole thing.